All right, let's get started. Oops, where's the screen? Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's going well. Double checking my sound. Yep, cool. All right, we're continuing on with the documentation. I did some work. I've gotten to the point where I've got nested folders and stuff like that. So, and I've got that to load in very, very quickly and all that kind of stuff. There's still a lot of work to do, but we're getting there. I'm going to fix the upload. So the idea being is, let's say we've got this currently in. This isn't uploading, and then I'm just going to move on to notes and comments. I need to then write down all the bugs that are in here and sort of fix them. There's quite a few. I'm just at that point where you're just like, I just want to move on to something else. I just need to get something else. I've been stuck on documentation for a while. It's dragging its feet, and I know if I put in all the bugs, I'll start fixing them, and then I'll get more motivation to, properly do everything. All right. So if we open up the network, so I'm bringing over the network. We've got a JSON pass, UTF codecs can't be decoded by and so forth like that. So I'm just going to get some little bit of help. When you're trying to pass a file or data stream as UTF JSON, but the data contains a binary sequence, this is invalid. All right, cool. So this will be the Django REST framework. That's the request. We've also got to look at, let's look at JavaScript fetch post file. And we'll find out what we're doing wrong there. Oh, golden rule. Do not manually set the content type header when you pass form data. That might be it. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to close all tabs. We're going to minimize everything. And we're just going to go into the components. We've got the object components documentation. So this will be create and filter. This will be part of the drop down. No, that's not what we want. Teleport to body. What is the header string? Blah blah blah. New folder. Upload documentation. There we go. Sometimes it's just easier to go through this process. I should also mention tonight, we are joined here by Socks. There she is. She's been good today. Very, very good. All right, going to get back into here. So, in here, we set everything up, and then we append the document. We've got the current folder. I've got to double check that. We've got the content type. All right, cool. So I'm just going to get rid of that because it should be form data. Easy done. We're going to have a look at this in here. I'm going to do this and bump that off to the right so you guys can see. So we've got the input, the document query selected, and then we just pull in that information like that. In here, got the document model, and we're looping through each one, and we should be getting the document. I do believe that is correct. And we're appending it each time. Now, I've just made one change, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete all this. I'm going to reload everything. So we're very happy here. I'm just going to go into Hello World. I'm going to go nested. I'm just going to upload a document. I'm sorry, you guys can't see this, but don't worry. That's what I'm doing. So we've got a 500 error now. So that's a different error. That is good. So document permission got an unexpected keyword. Yeah. All right. Sweet. So now what I want to do Scroll all the way down here. Serializer, handle a document position. Yep, all right, cool. And it's done that. And then we've done on that. I'm just going to copy that. Reason being is sometimes it's just easier to do it like that. We undo the view mask. Now this will be part of the document. I believe this one here. So if I just do that for the moment. So it's getting here. And it's stating, got unexpected keyword arguments, document key. So if we have a look at the document permissions, we don't have document key in here. We got document, but not document key. And that might be it. So if I just right hand click and go resend, oh, it's not going there. All right, if that's the case, then I'm going to also do something there, just in case I've debugged the wrong one. There we go, I've debugged the wrong one. That's perfectly fine. So, it's saying we don't have document key, and that should be, in fact, document. Now, if I have a look at the other one, yeah, I've got a document in there. So I've probably mucked up. I've probably kept document key in there by mistake. But hey, quick and easy fix. Let's just reload the page to make sure everything comes back. All right, cool. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to upload a document very, very quickly. So we've hit that breakpoint. I'm just going to remove that breakpoint. I'm also going to remove that one. We've got a 500 error again. Parent folder ID. All right, so it's part of this here. So if we've got a parent folder ID. So the thing is, we need to check first if it actually exists in the validated data. So if parent folder ID in serialized validated data. All right, I've fucked up. Give me 2 seconds. I've used the wrong. Wait, stuff. Open that up. Thank you. So if parent folder ID in serialized data, I was meant to press that button. So what we're doing here is we're making sure it is in there. We're then extracting it out and making sure it isn't 0. That's it. So we're doing a null check first, and then that should be it. All right, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to hit resend. Ooh, another error, but that's fine. This is why we're testing. Create your is not a valid UID. Ooh. I think I know where that's coming from. Once again, I'm just going to put a breakpoint here and a breakpoint here. We're going to see which one we actually hit. We're just going to go resend. We've hit one of them. All right, cool. So we've got the document key, we've got the key here. So if we open up documents, you can see that this is a UID field. Now we've got the document submit. And in here, it's a bunch of that. We actually want to grab the key field out of that. So we've just got to put .key here. That should do it. Now, the other one... All right, that's a different thing. All right, cool. I'm just going to hit play. I'm just going to hit play again. That's perfectly fine. We are just going to resend. We've hit this. All right, we've passed it now, and I'm just going to hit play. We now have tuple has no attribute data. All right, so we're getting there slowly. I'm just going to put a breakpoint there to see if it actually breaks within here. I'm just going to hit resend. We do get here. I'm just going to go forward. That pulls out the serialization. Hold on. We're actually sending back both. All right, cool. I'll need to... find out where this is used. We've got 2 usages. Yeah, all right. I'm just double checking if we have an earlier return. We do not. So I could potentially just get rid of this one and just return the serializer. I'm going to hit play. I know that's going to break, but that's perfectly fine. I am going to undo that. Sorry, I'm going to remove the debug. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to also have a look at this. So I'm just going to put a breakpoint there. I'm just going to refresh, make sure everything loads in correctly. We are going to remove that and hit play because that one's working perfectly fine. We're going to upload a document. We're just going to go create that. All right, cool. Upload document. We've hit the breakpoint, so here we are. We're fine with this. We're going to go back over here. Oh, I think that's... got attribute error when attempting to unserialize document serializer. All right, cool. I've done something messy. Let me just resend. Let me undo that. Let's remove that because I want to put it here. The steps down. All right, cool. So we've got the return serializer. Oh. All right. Got attribute error. I'm attempting to get the value for the field description on serializer. The serializer field might be named incorrectly and does not match the attribute on key query set. Has no attribute description. All right. So that's why we're getting the 500. So I'm just going to have a look at the quick create. So it does handle document permissions. Cool. That sends it off. We do get a serializer from that. We might not have description coming through, and that's why it's upset. I've got way too much stuff open at the moment. Give me a couple of seconds. I am closing things I do not need open. Okay, so we go in we create all that, do all that. It's probably not what I needed. This is what I needed. So this is it. This is the create. Pass through all of that. Goes through here. It then does the document serialization, and we need a description. But we do have a description. But is that description? Yeah, that description's there. I'm just going to hit refresh on the page. I'm also going to have a look at the VueJS sort of stuff. So it should have downloaded the documentation stuff. We've got the folders. We have nothing for the documents, even though I've uploaded something. And that permission should have taken shape. All right. What have I done wrong here? Another thing I'm going to have a look at is yeah, so this document submit, yep. Document save, yep. Document permissions, yep. That does the project and location ID. Yes, that's what we want. Parent folder, yep. All right, if that exists. Documentation save, upload files, document, file handler, yep. So that handles the upload of the document. That handles that it was successful. That then sends back what we need. That will actually be that should be parent folder ID. Descriptions there. Ah, it's a filter. Because now we're filtering out the results that we want. All right, let's do another upload. Let's go into the network. Data, create new project. All right, cool. It was something as simple as that. I can get rid of that. Get rid of that. And presto, we've got data. So we'll only need the key, the description, and the parent folder ID. URL location doesn't matter because, you know, that's just the location. Document itself, that's not needed. That's really just for uploading stuff. I don't know why I'm passing that down here. But once again, I will go through a cleaning process where I scrutinize all the fields and everything like that. So if I hit reload and I go to the documentation, we're getting nothing though, which is a bit of a concern. If I create a new hyperlink, sorry, you guys can't see this, but I'm just creating a new link. Oh, auth credentials were not provided. Oops. Oops. New link should have worked. I've been testing that all weekend. All right, let's fix up this one. Create and filter, new link, new link. Yeah, it should be getting the new CRF token. There it is there. And it should know I'm logged in. Oh, whoops. What the fuck? Alright, that's... annoying as hell. Oh, parent folder ID. Oh. Oh, I thought I changed that. Come off it. Required hold on. Allow null true. Alright. So that's the document serializer. We'll need the link serializer to... Actually, I think they're using both the same sort of thing. Alright, let's just resend that. Cool, that works now. I'm going to hit refresh. If we hit documentation, I can see. Sweet. If we actually go into the view, pinning our documentation, you can see now the documents have an array in here. We can see that there's data in here. That's that link. But for some strange reason, we're not seeing the data we want. So I'm just going to open up Data Grip. And what we're going to do is... I'm just going to refresh this. I'm going to go select all from NearBeach document. We're actually just going to select the top 5. Order by 1 descending. Is it done? Oh. All right, there's that. There's a create new project. As you can see, there's a lot of them in here. All right, cool. Let's do that, but let's grab the ID. Let's do that. All right, having a look at this. Project 17. All right, cool. So it is getting connected to this project. What we've got to do now is modify our select statement. So something's wrong with the select statement. So what I want to do, I'm going to minimize everything. I'm going to open up NearBeach. I'm going to open up the NearBeach views API 1. This will be part of projects. It'll be part of the documents. So this is grabbing the list, and then we can just go straight to the get list. So we've got the folder, cool. Document permission results, document objects, destination. Now that should be correct. And then document results. That's just an annotation. That's perfectly fine. was deleted is false. So I'm just having a look at the document permission. Is deleted as false. All right. Just going to put a breakpoint there. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hit reload. All right, and then when we hit the we should hit this. So in here, we should see document results. We've got a query set. I'm just going to go view. I'm just going to copy all this. We're just going to hit play a couple of times because it'll come through. We're going to go back to data grip. We're just going to delete that. We're just going to paste that in. We're going to modify this. To on. Actually, that should be like that. All right. So let's grab in the usual thing. Document permissions, key. Not and key in. And then we've got a bunch of select. So select as document ID from inner join on, and then there's our where again. All right. I like this. Oops. I'm gonna see what happens when we run this. We're only getting one ID. Ah, upload successful. I did see that before. Document create. Let's go through here. We're creating a new document, yada, yada, yada. Going through here, serialize. Handle document permissions. When it uploads the stuff, we are... Oh, fuck off. Thank you. We are setting that to true, though. Which means... If I go back here... Let's just get this out like that. All right, that way we see everything. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove those. I'm going to go 1 = 1. And I'm just going to neaten all of this up. All right. just so it becomes a little bit more readable. So from inner join on that, where 1 equals 1, that's just to modularize the next thing. So what I could do is I could just do that. And it looks like NearBeach document never had those save as true. So we're going to go back into the code. Upload successful. All right. I think it might be that now. So let's go back into here. Let's quickly just upload a document. I'm just going to hit refresh, just make sure the server's back. Cool, sweet. We're going to jump onto the network tab. We're just going to go down here. We're just going to go and hit play. I'm going to get rid of that breakpoint so it plays. There it goes. So we've got our documentation. I'm just going to upload a document. Once again, this is just going to be a simple screenshot that I'm uploading. So it worked perfectly fine. We got a key back, which I'm going to copy. I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to uncomment this. And, ooh, all right. So it looks like this issue was me, or me. I just got the field name wrong. Yep, all right, cool. So what we should do, I should hit refresh. And there we go. We've got the file. And Jen, how are you? Hopefully you're going well. Isn't JetBrains IDE has its own plugin for SQL Explorer? Possibly. I just use their data grip. So yeah. They just got another product called Data Grip, which pretty much is just this. So, yeah, I don't have too many plugins running for JetBrains. Just the usual. Yeah. All right, so we've got that working. Now I've just got to make it so if someone uploads a document, it will actually put that document in there when we get that data back. That should be really easy to do. I should almost have that done. So we want this, we want document, we want create, we want upload document, upload document. I think, yeah, we just need to create the interface. So something like this, and then I was having trouble with importing the interface. I kind of remember that now. Oy. Yeah, how did I do this? Because with the new link, I've got it like that. So essentially, it's pretty much this code here, with a few differences. This is just so weird. It allows it for this file, but it doesn't for that file. I find that absolute bonkers. I'm just going to make sure it compiles. It compiles. Unexpected token from... Yeah, it's just the weirdest thing. I don't know why it just... going to get rid of it. That's fine. I don't know why it's doing that for that one file and not for others. And then if I do that, that's perfectly fine. And then we just got to close the modal. Oh, and clear the data. So that will be... Now, the best way to use this is document there equals nothing. All right, cool. Yeah, that's just the weirdest thing. So if I upload a document, sit on the keyboard. So this should now appear down here straight away. Mucked something up. I've mucked up this. Alright, this is even weirder. I'm just going to go console log data. We're just going to figure this out. It's going to hit refresh. I'm going to move this off to the left for you guys. So I'm just going to upload a document very, very quickly. So we've got the data. We send back. All right. Yeah, I know what I've done. All right. Okay, I just got to fix a few things. All right, so when we do this handle permissions and so forth like that, I'm doing a filter. I should be doing a get, but we can't do an annotate. But if I do a first, now I'm going to leave it like this just in case in the future I enable multiple files to be uploaded at once, which I might. It is still on the table for that to actually happen. I actually want to get the basics of this done first, and then I want to come back with a fresh head to go, no, I don't like this, yes, I like that, and move things around. So adding in the ability for multiple file uploads would be great. I could also then remove the fact that you have to give the file description name in there and then move that to a post-upload status and all that kind of stuff, fun stuff. So when we have upload document and it comes back, we're going to go loop through the results and add to store. So for each, it should be data.forEach. And this will be an array of is this document doesn't like TypeScript. This one. Yeah, it's lowercase. Why is this one particular file set up? There it is. All right, no, I know the problem. It should be language equals TypeScript. There we go. That's what's causing all my problems and grief. Which means then this typing should now just work as string lang. I can't spell, excuse that. So yeah, there goes string. And then yeah, I've got problems with these. I'll come back to these in a second to fix this up. That's not going to be a problem. I'll come back to this to fix this up. That's not going to be a problem. That's just part of the TypeScript cleanup. So what I want to do is I want to actually state that this is going to be something of an object. So very similar to the new link. I'm going to put the new link over here just so I can copy stuff from it. All right, document item interface. Let's scroll all the way down here. So this is going to be a document item interface, and then we do something like that. And Burnham, welcome. I hope you are enjoying my content. I am refactoring NearBeach, which is an open source project management system. So currently it doesn't look like much at the moment, just because I'm rushing through trying to get the foundation done for this. But we actually do use NearBeach in a production sort of environment. We actually use NearBeach to build NearBeach. Now I can't show you my production environment outside of the Kanban boards, but this is what it currently looks like. There's a lot of technical debt in this that we're trying to get rid of. So yeah. It's slow progress. Slow progress. We're getting there. All right, for each now works, and then we go. We can just go row for the moment. I don't like using the word row. Oh, I put land over here. So what I can do is I can go documentation store documents push, and then I can just create the array straight away. That will be description, and that's going to be that will be row dot description. That will be a string. Now I should also at the same time put this as document so the whole system knows what's actually going to happen. We'll do the key is just going to be data key dot cheers Burnham. Anyway, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. Now I'm just going to open up the interface. So yeah, that's key string. Cool. I'm just going to put that off to the right for reference. Now it's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Just going to do that just to speed up this process. It's just going to be easy that way. All right. So URL location. Document and folder won't exist. URL location, that's actually just going to be that. Or null. It's the key, the description, and the parent folder ID that we're really caring about here. And Jet Pinky, welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. Now, the reason why these are red, I don't know why it's saying that, because I'm looking at the interface right now and I can see it right there staring me in the face. And this data, okay. No, I've made a big boo-boo. Alright, we can get rid of that then, because we're passing that through. That should do it. Then I can get rid of that. And I could get rid of that. And then we've just got the temp code, which we'll get rid of later. So the idea of the temp code is just to do a bit of cleanup. And once again, I'll come back to this. I'll revisit it. There's a bunch of things that I want to sort of go through and properly plan with this. I just want this functionality working before I come in and re-clean that up. Alright, so what I want to do, I'm just going to reload. We're going to go to the documentation. We're going to go into the hello world. We're just going to upload a random file in here. We've hit an issue. JSON pass, expected character at line 1, column 1 of JSON data. Cannot assign to document permission folder, must be a folder instance. This is why we test. So here's the issue. All right, it would be this right here. Just wanted to copy that one line, not the whole paragraph. Oh my God. Thank you. All right. Now this is actually part of Python, so there it is. So we're passing through the folder ID in here. This is just a simple, we just underscore folder ID. That's it. And Scotty B, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome, welcome. Now I'm just going to hit upload again. And as you see, that created that in there straight away. So I'm happy with this. I am going to log so many bugs and stuff like that and think about how I'm going to fix this up in the flow and so forth like that. So for example, if I want to upload multiple documents, I'll probably get rid of the document name because it'll be on that. But then if someone wants to rename the document, we've got to do something. You have learned to hate SQL. Oh, what's wrong with SQL? See, I don't mind it. It was my bread and butter 10 years ago. Oh, maybe a little bit longer now. We're probably talking about 14 years ago. It was my bread and butter. Where was I? Yeah, so having the ability to rename these, also move them and stuff like that. I'm at that stage where I'm like, all right, cool. I've done the initial of this. I'm going to have to go in and figure out how I want it to sort of work and so forth like that. It'll probably mean a lot of changes. So, yeah. But, well, that's perfectly fine. What I'm going to do then is I am going to git status, git add, git commit. Oh, we've done a package lock change. Oh, well. I'll include this. After working with Rust and Python, the logic is all wrong. Oh, well. I don't know about Rust, but I'm assuming you're using some ORM for Python. Fixed uploading document issues. All right, cool. And we're just going to push that. I'm also going to run the Python manage tests very, very quickly. I just want to see if this is still working. It probably is. That's perfectly fine. I've got to start actually getting unit tests up and running inside both NearBeach and Welk. I'm honestly just going to try and get an LLM to help me with that. I think at this day and age, I just need help. I just need to speed up some things, so forth like that. All right. Okay, I'm just going to close data grip. We're fine with that. We're going to go back into here. I want to start dealing with the notes and comments. Probably MISC. Or, actually, I really should start with the group access, because that will give me the ability to control a lot of this. But, sorry, I'm just having a think. I haven't actually thought how I want to handle this, the group access. So in the past, you used to click group and then something will appear and you would add them in and so forth like that. I could do a drop down where by default it'll be empty and then someone will click on it and select something and it'll add them straight in. Same with the user. That could work. I will admit I do like this. And adding in another drop down in there, being like add. I mean, it'll look like this up here. I realize that sorry, there we go. Whereas if we click on the group, a little modal will appear. We can then do a search for the group. That could potentially work. Sorry, I'm rather ducking with you guys at the moment. I just don't want constant drop downs everywhere. Yeah. All right. All right, let's do some research. I just want to actually look at images, really. No, that's not what I want. It's not what I want. Can't show my production environment at the moment. Do I have my demo? I should be careful. That took a while. All right. So yeah, down here. You would go add group to project. I'm just getting rid of that. Add group to project. Oh. Shit, I just realized one thing. Give me 2 seconds. Oh. Hold on. Sorry, gotta... There's my demo. Oh god, yeah, I've got to do this sidecart thing soon. Alright, what version of the NearBeach am I up to? Hub.docker. Sorry, it's been a little while since I've been able to do a release. Piss off. You click somewhere and pop up an ad. Oh my god. Alright, cool. Because yeah, I've just released some stuff. There we go. I'm just gonna hit save. Don't have access to that page. Alright. Just remove the admin. Alright, so I go in. And it's like this. I don't like that. At all. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Because yeah, I'm just clicking on that and then it'll be a modal and I hit on that and then it'll be like that. Whereas why can't I just put it there? Like if someone clicks on that, it pops up with a little select down there. Oh, and we can play around with this. Now, will be part of Welk? No, probably not. Just because I don't have the dashed things up here. At least I don't think I do. I'm pretty sure I don't have dashed. I've got compact. Yeah, I don't have the dashed stuff. And nor can I have it like that. So it might be a select which we just get looking like this. This is just a button. We could potentially get a select looking like this, and then when someone clicks on it, it'll drop down that will look very similar to that. It'll act like a select. Will this be a multi-tenanted site? We don't have plans at the moment to do that. Might be in the future, but I can't guarantee that at the moment. The idea is there are permissions that will separate by group, and then that really shouldn't be user access. That's not correct. We'll rename that, but essentially this will be the user's assignment. So that should be users assigned. So anyone who's in a group that is in here will have access to this. That way they can reference it and so forth like that. And depending, you can do some funky stuff with the groups. So for example, you might have QA team and QA team read only, in which case you've got the QA team, but they're read only. So you can then give them just read only access to tickets and so forth like that. So yeah. All right, so having a think, I could potentially keep it like this, where we've got something like that, and then when I click on it, it'll drop down like that. I think we could give that a shot. Let's just play around with this. Let's do the group access. That way, when they click on something and then select something, we can add that group in straight away and then remove it from that. All right, cool. So let's minimize everything. Let's open up source. Let's open up the components. This will be part of the object component. This is actually part of the group access. So that'll be part of access. We're going to open up access. At the moment, you can just see that we've just done something like this. We'll be referencing this data somewhere else, which would be great because then we can actually use this as live data. All right, cool. And then it's the remove user and stuff like that. So yeah, all right. I'm going to... User access is not the best naming for that, so I'm going to rename this straight away. Refactor, rename. We didn't call it access, we called it user assigned. Assigned users. There you go. So much better. And then we just refactor this one. And then just something like that. And then something like that. You learn some SQL like for Python. It's okay, but my brain thinks more procedurally and not functionally like SQL. Ah, okay, fair enough. Yeah. It's a different sort of talent. All right, so that should render out perfectly fine. I'm just going to go straight into group access. I'm just going to have a look what's in here. So we've got all this group access, and then we've got like the trash. Yeah, all right, cool. And then we've got the add object. And yeah, that's all we've got for this. All right, so sorry, I'm just thinking how I can actually implement this. So the add object can be actually hijacked. All right, we can reuse this, I think, easily. If we go back over here, let's just go to the left. Let's go here. Let's view anonymous space project page. We've got the group access, so access component. We're going to open up that. We've got anonymous. Yeah, that's no longer user access. It's going to be something else. But if we go into group access and we go all the way down, we've got add object. You can see here we've got props coming through. Object group. So So we've got the object type. That's just a string required. I don't know why we have all of that. But I don't know. I don't know how often we actually use this. A group, stakeholder, and customer. All right. Sorry, I've got so much things running around in my head at the moment. We've also got it down here, the customers and the stakeholders. So when you delete a stakeholder, it'll also pop up. You've got the submit. I'm just going to refresh. Oh, whoops. Sorry, that was my bad. Sorry, that's the delete. Right, so you've got the customers. How do I want this to work at the moment? With the customers, there might be a little search. I mean, I could have it where you click on this, the drop down will happen. And the user will be able to search. Or for the moment, I just have it where someone clicks on it and we have the drop down. And then later on, I come up with a better solution. Where I have a label there, but when you click on the label, it then shows the... puts into focus the... Yeah, that might be it. Alright, so for the moment, I might keep this simple. Shouldn't have had that. Right there. Oh, well. No one can read that. Alright. At the moment, what I'm going to do is the instant the user clicks on this, it's going to have a little select. But how will I get it to look like that? Or I could go back to Welk and do something special where I could turn the selection into buttons. Or have a button select where it looks like this and then they click on it and then they've got the text where they can filter. But I'm also trying to think like what would happen if they went to search. Sorry, I can't make up my mind at the moment. Now I want to get this done. I don't want to have the modal. I want to move away from the modal. I want this to be as quick and easy as possible. I think in this sort of case, I just bite the bullet. I have an empty select that has plus group on it. And then when someone selects something, I just go ahead and add it. Oh, typing God. User access is wrong. Give me 2 seconds. There you go. Sorry, that would drive me nuts. All right, so where do we have add object in the great scheme of things? It's components prefab. All right, yeah. I mean, I could totally rip this out and just do what I need in here. That won't be a problem. All right, I'm gonna try it. It's gonna fail, but I'm gonna try. So straight off the bat, let's get rid of that. So we're gonna have a label. It's going to be type string required equals true. Now we're going to do that. We're going to go this will be a select. We're just going to do that. All right, cool. So that's what it will sort of look like. But we need a blank value to start off with. So it will be option value equals nothing. Something like that. So that will look like that. We need a model. And we need it required. So we do that. And that means we can get rid of that. Great. All right, this is getting good. Now, I might need a label, in which case I can then overlay the label on top of this, which means this then becomes a little bit different, which is all good and dandy. We can do this. And then when you click on the label, it's going to activate this thing here. So we do this for Whelk already. We might as well copy what we do for Whelk. So I'm going to open up the WebStorm. And if this becomes a thing where I think it deserves to be in Welk, we can move it to Welk. In Welk, we already have, we've got a multi-select, we've already got a select, so I'm just going to open up the Welk select. So we've got something like this. This is all part of the form group, which gives us all of this. So we might as well hijack that and use that in here too. So, Welk form group. There we go. We're just, you know what? We're just going to use it. Easy done. We're going to import it in. We're going to delete that one and actually put it over here. We're going to do this and do that and so forth like that. Now, this is going to look ugly straight away. You can see it doesn't look exactly how we want it. That's perfectly fine. What we're going to do next is we are going to go in here. We're then going to go add in a select that's under the add object. I'm going to remove all of this. We're just going to paste this into here. We're just going to do this like that. Cool. And what we're going to do, so we're going to delete all of that. We're going to have that. All right. So we're kind of happy. Now it does mean that we get this back. All right, cool. We now need to put in a label, but we're going to do something with the label where it sits over on top of this. So, yeah. And very similar to Welk. We've got the label for, and then we get the IDs and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we're essentially copying this. We don't need the render options or anything like that. This is going to be a very basic sort of simple thing. I am actually going to copy that. I'm just going to paste that in. We won't need a tooltip. And we won't need any of this. This is this very stripped down sort of version. We need the component ID. That's just as simple as... Now this is just a... It's just that. Now, can I use this? The keyboard? Oh, it's just a keytron. It needs some massive cleaning. So, yeah. Now I'm going to see if I can use this, the get component ID. I don't think I can. No, I can't. But that's not a problem. What we can do is we can just copy this. Paste it in. This is actually... Socks. Away from the mouse. Still using the Feka LS80. Okay. I need to get myself a new keyboard soon. Ooh, nice, nice. Yep. Yeah, I'll eventually get myself a new keyboard, but just not today. Some of the keys will stick. It's annoying as hell. Alright. Ooh, we are... I just need to do that then. And then I just need to go up here, const props equals define props, oops, sorry, socks. And then I just need to import computed. It's a good thing sometimes. A lot of this code is modular, so yep. And there we go. I don't need any of that. That's the component ID. We're not going to worry about any of that. Now the Welk form group, that's I don't know why that's giving me the red squiggly lines there. Alright. Let's have a look. Element is missing end tag. Piss off. Ah, because of the select. That's it. We should add in here option value equals test. That. So that's in there like that. So these are still like this, and then you click on this and then ta-da, but we don't have any labels at the moment. So we're going to go up to group access. We've got this add object in here. We're going to go label equals plus group. Now that's all the way up there. That's not what we want. You like the Fecker brand? Very solid, and price is really good. Yeah, the prices are not too bad. I don't know if I'll get another Keychron. I mean, I've had this keyboard for quite a while. So yeah, I just mechanical keyboard. I might try something else, like I might try that one. I wouldn't go smaller than 75. Mainly because I like to use the tilde, your tail. I like to use these keys up here. I use them quite a lot, and I know with one of my other keyboards, all this top row was gone, and yeah, it ended up being more of a hassle than fun using. Alright, so I need this group over here. So, not a problem. What we're going to do we can do a fixed absolution. Oh, sorry, position absolute. If I do width 100%, that means that it goes off. Yeah, that means it goes off the page like this because it's a width 100% for all of that. But if I get rid of it, it stays there. Yeah, this is where I gotta do some CSS trickery. But from Epomarker, it is a. I can't read your comment because Twitch has decided to put a couple of sticky stuff over it. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, that's really weird, Twitch. I put it from Epomarker. It's a company that carries Fecker or Fecker carry. Oh, okay, cool. Right. Alright, so center won't happen. With auto, yeah, it doesn't fill out like fit content. Oh, it's not what we want. Inherit max content. I want it to just give me 2 seconds. CSS can't label to have width Display block. Okay. Yep. There we go. So display inline block. And width 100. Still not doing what we're doing. It's where everyone learns I am terrible at CSS. I'm going to get rid of the position absolute. And then what I should do, transform. This will be, not rotate. Translate Y. It should be something like that. That way when you click on group, it should bring up the select box like that. It's not doing it, but I'll figure out why in a second. Get rid of that. What else do I need? Oh yeah, model. Yeah. Define refs. Yeah, we've got to import that. Come on, show me potato salad. Oh, it take forever. There you go. Sometimes they're quicker than the AI. All right, so that should be that. Then we got the add object, and then we got down here. So we got the label. I'm just going to refresh this, and then you got the test, and then clicking on that should, in theory, expand this. It just puts it on focus. Alright, this is where we've got to go. Inputs. Sorry, this would be a select on focus, show options. The modern CSS way, select appearance, space select. All right. I don't know what that does. but I'm just going to refresh. So we've got this with the group. All right, cool. And then what we want to do is when it's on focus, so select all of that, and then we go and focus. And now we've got our focus down here, display block. Like that. Hopefully that doesn't have any issues. Because yeah, when I want it in focus, I want it to do that. All right. Oh, hold on. That's all of that. Give me a couple of seconds. Sorry. All right. So and focus and picker. No, it's not wanting to do it for me. Data lists, eh? All right, let's play around with this. Might as well. Element is missing end tag. No, not doing what we want. All right. To do ref to that handle that. Okay. That might work. I like that. All right. Means we get rid of all of this CSS, which didn't work for us. All right. There we go. We just need to go up here. We've just got to define functions. I do need to add in a ref in here. Like that. Okay, accessing refs. going to have to be a unique name. Component ID. That works. Gonna make it like that, so that way that works like there. All right, cool. So we need template refs. So up here we're going to go define template refs. So const, this will be select ref equals and then it's just template ref. And we're just going to import that. And then it's going to be component ID. Maybe this won't work. Shit. All right, so that won't work. No, I'm probably overcomplicating this. I probably don't need a ref. So we've got an on focus, define functions, function on focus. And then I'm going to have an event, and then I'm just going to go console log event, like that. And I think it's meant to be a dollars event. And if I go back over here, cool. So now we've actually got this in here, and what I'm going to do, save as global type of temp0 object. All right. So now we've got the target. Easy done. Sweet. And then live here is just show picker. It's meant to be a function. Oh. All right. Well, tell you what. Let's see if it works in here. Let's see if it works. And then we'll come through and fix up all these errors. So if I click on group, boom, that's what we want. All right, and then what I need to do is I need to fix up this. give me a couple of seconds. VueJS. Focus. Event type. All right. Okay, easy done. That's just to help fix things up. So I'm just gonna remove this. We've got the label. I can then remove this. We've got to fix up the label stuff, so we'll do that next. So that will be display block inline block. Sorry. Width is going to be 100%. Text align is going to be center. And then transform, translate Y, and it was something like 29 pixels. So if we go back into here, we've now got this down here, and then we click on that, boom. And what we could do is we could get the, because that's quite heavy text, we could go font family. We have, I believe we've got that one. I believe we got that one. And then all of a sudden, this just does something like that. And we're like, sweet. We can even make that text a little bit smaller. I'm just having a look at the mock-up. So in the mock-up, mock-up's a bit different, actually. We had it like that. We had it a little bit bigger and so forth like that. We could shrink the font size. Like that. And that works perfectly. So then you're like, all right, cool. Add group. You click on that and then you boom. And then we'll handle it like that. And the same with these ones down here. That gives us a quick and something quick and easy for us to actually implement, which won't be a modal. Then later on, what we might do is we might change this slightly. So a user could use it as a search functionality. So they'll click on this. And then a little text area will be there, and they'll be like, blah, 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 and they'll type and search for stuff. But for the moment, we're going to keep it as simple as possible. The reason being is I've got to design all that. I want to get this at least out and get people to utilize it. So that way they might go, no, this works or this doesn't, and so forth like that. So I can focus on what's actually important. All right, talking about important. We've got a bunch of red text and warnings at the moment. So I'm just going to reload the page. We're going to deal with this. Missing required prop label on quite a lot of these. So we are going to add those in very, very quickly because it'll take us a couple of seconds. So we're going to go add objects. So we've got assigned users. So we're going to go label equals assign user, easy done, and we need a model in here. There you go. New assigned user model. We just go up. We just create our own refs. I'm just doing that for the moment. Let me just fucking, excuse my French, click that bloody thing. Thank you. I've got like 2 pixels for that select. So that one's done. All right, that one's done. I've done a spelling mistake, so that's a quick fix like that. All right, so that one's done. That one's done. That one's done. That one needs to be done. So label equals organization. All right, cool. And then we need to be model equals new organization model. And then up here, we just go define refs, const new organization model equals ref. We're just going to do something like that. Easy done. We're done. So that should get rid of all the warnings. We're just going to reload the page, make sure that works. Sweet. I'm happy with that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on, we can see that these are looking how we want them to. Sweet. We can then click on this, boom, and then we go test, and then bang. I now need to import data into those particular things. So luckily for us, if we go into the view itself, and we go into Pinia, and we go object metadata, you'll notice in here, we don't actually have groups. Shoot. All right. We do have users. That's your user. We do have the nav. We do have object. This object doesn't have any groups added to them yet. That's a bit of a problem because we'll lose access to it very shortly. We've got documentation, we've got permissions. This is the users groups. Yeah, this is all the user group. Oh, sorry, be good. The idea being is a user will sorry, I'm just trying to think. and yawn. Oh, sorry. Big yawn. User will have access. User will be able to grant any other groups permission to this. Now, I could, in theory, actually put a list of every single group either here inside the permissions or inside the object metadata, which is another place where we're actually storing stuff. So, for example, object statuses, object types, tags, and statuses. I think object metadata will probably be the best place to put it because that makes sense. And it is data that we'll be using for every single location. So, I'm going to need to put it in there. And then the idea is once that data's in there, we're going to put it in here. But we're going to remove all of these ones which already exist in here. And then from there, if someone clicks on something like that, it automatically goes, yep, doing something, boom, and hides that. Now, what I got to do, I'm going to test this out. Technically, that should belong up there, I think. I'm going to do this. This is just temporary type of stuff. I want to see how fast this looks. So if I click on this and I go test, notice how test falls in there. Now we have some errors actually happening. Give me a couple of seconds. I'm just going to move that to the left. I'm going to hit reload. Downloadable font name, records are not sorted, font family, all right, cool. Yeah, that's fine. I'll fix it up another day. What I'm going to do is I am going to click on that. I'm going to click on test and model came through. All right, cool. The value. All right, let's change back to nothing, but it's selected that, which is really annoying. Yeah, all right. So what's happened is, even though I've selected this, it's changed the model back to nothing. So yeah, model value. Model is a ref. If we go up here, new group model, ref. Yeah, it's set to that, but it doesn't reset the select. All right. The idea being is I want this to admit. Oh, I've got to recharge my headset. Sorry, it just told me to recharge the headset. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. Oh, I just can't at the moment. I want it when I change it, that way it sends the data up, I can use it in emit, and then I can get the select to actually go back to being a null state, whilst also at the same time sending that value off upstream. That can actually happen. I can emit that value up, that won't be a problem. It's just that if I edit the model, there's no hidden values. Give me 2 seconds. HTML select. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted a hidden option. I don't think this exists. Well, it might actually. All right. Yeah, but it doesn't go back to that. Because yeah, I just want to click on that and then go, yeah, and then have that test just disappear straight away and not actually show. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this. But anyway, I'm exhausted. I'm sorry, guys. I am going to raid someone. Let's see who is on at the moment. All right. Anyway, thank you very much everyone for joining. It looks like, yeah, I do like the select idea. I've just got to make it just disappear. At the moment, I know I probably will stop stream and actually figure it out. But yeah, I think that's the next step. Then all of these will be done. I then just need to program all the CRUD in for the group access and the user access. But the great news is I can just rip that out from 0.31. Because it's the same logic, it's just we've renamed all the fields. Then once that's done, it's just, yeah, this should be this section done. I can then move on to the stakeholders and so forth like that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much. I do hope you enjoy me Magatron. So yeah. Anyway. Have fun. Oh, I can't cut the raid down. For those on YouTube, sadly you won't be able to join us with the raid, but thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe.